Child of Morning Star, Embers of an Ancient Dawn. An interview with author and artist Antoine Mountain. The book is based on the Indigenous Medicine Wheel, an alignment of spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental realities. Videographer Roy Goose caught up with Antoine Mountain.
All right, it's Antoine Mountain, and I'm going to be speaking briefly about my new book coming up, Child of Morning Star, Embers of an Ancient Dawn. This one, as opposed to my first book about residential schools, is more a collection of stories. Here I wanted to try a new kind of format for the youth, which is basically directed at. And this one follows along with the Medicine Wheel format in that it also has a new literary way of presenting a publication that is a combination of things that you ordinarily read in the written form, plus poetry and also images. So the idea is to try to get people used to the what we call the Medicine Wheel format, in that the first section has to do with basically indigenous thought that is laying the groundwork for what comes on later in the book. It introduces an elderly Navajo man who goes out of his hogan at 4 o'clock in the morning, which is common practice for medicine people in that southwest area. The people are related to us, the Navajo and Apache. They are related to our northern Dene people. So what they want to do is go out around 4 o'clock in the morning when the morning star first comes out. They say that's the most powerful time of day to offer prayers, and the stories that come later are a realization of this man's prayers, his prayer requests. So the first part of the first section of the book has to do with these basically stories based on indigenous thought. And the second section has to do with history and what we have to learn from history. And the third and most important part of the book has to do with community, especially with our recent experiences from COVID. We found out that we have lost touch with each other as human beings. So the idea is to tell stories that recreate a more human kind of environment for the children of the future. And the final section has to do with spirituality, which basically ties it up all together. Well, I'll just say that much for now. Masi, thank you.
Child of Morning Star, Embers of an Ancient Dawn is published by Durvile UpRoute Books, also available as an ebook and a performance audiobook.